Welcome to Peaceful Streaming. So, this looks like it's clean, doesn't it? No, it's not. It's getting there. But the worst part, at least to me, it seems, the worst part, the tunnel floor is still got a ways to go, as well as a couple other things. And so I would like to get done this stream. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm like up to something like 8 streams with this, I think, which is just mind-boggling. I could not find out what causes this stuff to come back in stock. But at this point, I guess I should not be waiting around for it, because I don't think it's going to happen in time. I mean, I like I said, I tried to find out what exactly triggers that, or more to come into stock. Could not find out. So, I'm just going to operate under the assumption that no cleaning fluid is coming to save me. Normally I do a second house flipper stream during this time, but I am just really out of it for some reason that I have no clue about. And so this seems like a good option. Okay. I do like this part where like stuff is just finishing all of a sudden, bit by bit. I guess the platform wall has got a ways to go. Oh, yeah, okay, it does. See, these surfaces are much harder to clean, it seems at least, than the shiny tile. I mean, it could be that I'm imagining it. Definitely could. one do I have on? Oh, I should do the extra long. Okay, I'll do this section of ceiling. I do not like doing the ceiling. See, now it makes it look like I'm very close, but I'm not, because the tracks... Well, this side actually isn't bad, I have to admit. But the other side, the floor, it's just because I know how long that takes. By any chance I get this done in like 20 minutes, which is unlikely, then I will go do the Mars rover. Or some other really interesting quick job. Okay. Oh, yeah. So this section is almost done of the tunnel ceiling. Okay. This one is a long way to go. Like I said, there's only so much I can do of a ceiling at one time. Tunnel floors, 3 tunnel floors, yeah, and those are a pain. What else do I have? Is there... Okay, so the tunnel ceiling. Yeah, jeez. Tunnel floors. So I just left myself the bad part. I was trying not to do that, actually. I just kept hoping that the, well, this is coming up better than I thought. The only problem is these tracks are horrible because they have so many nooks and crannies. I really didn't want to leave like the bad stuff till last, but I kept hoping that the cleaning fluids would come back in the stock. And that was obviously incredibly naive. Okay. Okay, so this is going better than I thought it would. I had actually sprayed this with cleaner. That's why there are all those like kind of clean patches. So that definitely did help. I cannot recommend cleaning fluid enough when you do this job. It is a lifesaver. Kind of like wood cleaner for either the shoe house or the tree house, because after a while you're just kind of tired. At least for me, I was, after a while, especially with the tree house, I was just tired of the job. I do admit to having kind of a short attention span for some things, but I just, it may have been just because it was my first run through. Well, this has been my first run through, and I was just eager to see what came next. So that probably had something to do with it. Three tunnel floors. So this is 1 out of 3. Not to belabor the point, but I'm not sure I will get done in this stream. So I am changing jobs, and the building I work in has been closed since, I think it was September, either late September, early October, because of a flood. And I guess they're doing construction work and stuff. So I knew they had said something about moving stuff, but it just didn't somehow did not get through to me. My brain did not compute. So so I need to get my stuff and drop some stuff off, and so I emailed the building people, and they were like, and I, to say, can I get into my office to pick my stuff up, to drop some stuff off, and also to kind of show the new executive assistant for our vice chancellor, our office, or it's not going to be my office anymore, but the office she's going to share with the person who replaces me, because she's never seen it because she just started. And so I emailed them, and they were like, oh yeah, no, your stuff isn't there. We packed everything up and moved it off site. And I was like, okay. So, I mean, obviously he's saying, well, actually he didn't tell me where it was or how to get to it. I think I assume he's going to tell me that in a follow-up email. But I was like, I didn't have a lot of stuff there because I started the job during the pandemic. And so I really only went in for a few days last summer, but I was anticipating, things opening up eventually more and being in there. And I would have been if it weren't for the flood. So brought much in. I don't remember. So this ought to be interesting. This is like a new experiences all the time. Interviewing for a job during a pandemic, Zoom only, new experience. Starting my first day by going to the living room on this job I'm in now. Going to the living room just like I did the last business day. So I started on a Monday. I ended on a Friday in my old position and department in my living room and started. It's just weird because you're used, you get used to where you change a job, especially on campus, you schlep all your stuff into boxes and bags and carry it over to your new building or pack it in your car and then, unpack it on your first day in your new building. And it's weird interviewing without never meeting people in person. And my boss, who actually left for another job like months ago, she and I only met in person a year after I started. So that was weird, but pandemic, everything's weird. So what did I do? Oh, why did I think? Okay. Oh, this is almost done. So this is one section, right? Yeah, looks like it's almost done. Where does it, oh, okay, here. So anyway, of course, the ending of this job is weird because the whole thing's been weird. The pandemic's been weird. It was pandemic and flood. We couldn't just have pandemic. So it seems a fitting end. But I am excited for my next job. I'm really, really excited about this. This job I'm in now, I was excited because of the people, mainly. And the department I supported was very interesting. The work itself is pretty much the same as, not anything out of the ordinary. And some of the work I'm going to be doing in my next job is the same thing, which I like. I don't like everything to be new. But some of it is going to be different, which I like. So I'm excited about that. And this department is just, especially for a department on a university campus, it's growing really quickly. So it's very, very exciting. So we'll see if I can get my stuff back, then I'll be set. It wasn't like I didn't have anything like really, really important. I actually mainly wanted to drop stuff off, and I'm not sure that's going to be possible. There's some stuff I'm going to be able to give to the executive assistant, but this is definitely somewhat tricky. I may be bringing some stuff back home until things, until the building opens up. It's all weird. But it definitely contributed to feeling rootless. But, oh my God, what is my husband doing? That sound is like nails on a chalkboard. Oh my God. He's doing some kind of refinishing or repair on this rolling cupboard we have in the kitchen. Just gets in these things where all of a sudden he gets really interested in. It just started with him cleaning the kitchen this morning, like he normally does. And then he started like reorganizing stuff, and then all of a sudden he's like fixing and refinishing this piece of furniture. I have no idea what's going on. I've just tried to stay out of the way because there's tools and stuff like that. But ooh, wow, that's a lot of dirt. So, God, thank God that noise has stopped. That was bad. So I'm at 91%, but that 9% could be a really bad 9%. That's the thing. Excuse me, I'm just gonna have a little ginger beer. Well, I actually could get done with this. I guess we'll see. Oh God. Now he's drilling. I hope the microphone isn't picking this up. I apologize if it is. Oh my God. Problem is we do not have a door on both ends of the kitchen, so this end is open to the living room where I am. That's the way it goes. So how many? I have one ceiling. Wow, 6 tracks? Huh. Are the tracks all one piece? Yeah, I guess they are, and there are 3 on each side. Is that it? Because this is the cable, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, these things, like, it's just you have to get on the sides of these things. Look at that. It's just, you have to go from all different angles. So I bet I have to go over here. Yep, oh, that's not bad. Okay, so it gets most of it, I think. Close. I wonder about this side. Okay, so just a little here and there. So I saw that thing last night with the Oscars, which of course I had no idea were last night. The thing about Will Smith hitting Chris Rock. And so we were watching the Today Show when they were talking about it. And I guess Chris Rock made a joke referring to Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. She has, I think is it called alopecia? Where you pull your hair out? I might be thinking of the wrong one. It might just be a condition where your hair falls out. I don't want to say that's what she has when I'm completely ignorant about it. But anyway, so it's something that is clearly painful for her, no matter what it is. So her hair is, her head was basically shaved. I really hope that drilling sound is not coming through. I apologize if it is. I have no idea why he's completely oblivious. So he made a joke about her G.I. Jane look. And Will Smith went on stage and I guess slapped him. So the people on Today were like, oh yeah, violence never solves anything and blah, 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 all this stuff. No one says, but Chris Rock was a jerk for saying that. That was cruel. That wasn't funny. It was inappropriate. There are lines that should not be crossed when you're a comic. And that was unacceptable. It was all just, violence is wrong. You can't solve things with violence, which I'm not saying that's wrong. But what it reminded me of is when my son was younger. My son always was big, always, from birth. He was 21 inches long and 8 pounds 15 ounces when he was born, and he was always above the curve for height and weight. So what would happen is a lot when he was in elementary school, grammar school, he got teased a lot and bullied. I know it's hard to believe that a kid who's really big could be bullied, but yeah, it can happen. So and then he'd get upset, and he didn't. Much of the time it was an accident. He was, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but basically, sometimes he would physically react and, strike out, flail, or whatever. Nothing with any kind of organization to it. But so then he would always get in trouble. It's like, okay, fine. Yes, he should get in trouble if he hits someone. There's absolutely no question. But the school never, ever, even when we got the story from him and told the school, and the other kid or kids would not deny that they had been teasing him. It was always like, well, violence doesn't solve anything. Yeah, but bullying and teasing and making fun of someone is not the way for a child to behave, or children to behave. So you're basically saying it's okay for them to do that because they're not getting in trouble at all. And so it just was like, I just don't understand. As soon as someone reacts physically, then whatever was done to make them react is forgotten, and that person is completely absolved. And I just don't understand. So it wouldn't have been that hard for like the hosts on Today to say, yeah, violence doesn't solve anything, and that was definitely not the way to react, blah, blah, blah. But that was a very cruel, quote unquote, joke that Chris Rock made. And it was not humorous. There was absolutely nothing positive in any way about it. There is some humor that's cruel, that can be funny. I mean, sad but true. But it was just like no one was talking about what Chris Rock did. So I guess that's one reason not to react with violence, because everyone forgets why you're reacting. All they remember is how you reacted. So, but it definitely like kind of triggered me, because I was just angry that there wasn't any, and then I guess the Academy is denounced the behavior and is opening an investigation. I was like, what investigation? It was on TV. What is there to investigate? Because they just feel like they have to, respond somehow. What are they going to do? I mean, what exactly are they going to do? I don't understand what they think they're going to do. They're not going to do anything. It's just that they had to say something, but they don't denounce what Chris Rock said, which was completely unfunny, inappropriate, cruel, unnecessary. I don't understand why he gets a pass and why those kids got a pass when my son was being bullied. So, as I said, I guess that's the lesson is, if you react with violence, chances are that no one is going to remember how you were provoked. So, it's best not to. But, of course, the other thing is we went to the school many, many times to complain about the bullying. I mean, he actually got several concussions because of kids doing stuff. Like, he was going down the slide, the kid who was behind him, who obviously is not supposed to be on the slide at the same time, kicked him in the head. So that was one time. There were just multiple times. He ended up having to have him stay home for 10 days. And he couldn't read. I think he could listen to music. He couldn't watch TV. He couldn't be on the computer. I mean, he had to completely rest his brain. So we talked to the school, and they're just like, well, we don't really know, blah, 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 who to blame. And I'm like, I can tell you who the kids were. Well, it's some time has gone by, blah, blah, blah. It was a very, very frustrating situation, and it was frustrating for us. I can't even imagine. Well, I can kind of imagine what it was like for my son, because I got bullied when I was a kid. And fortunately, for middle school, he went to a charter school, and there was only, I think, there were a few kids from his elementary school, but most of them were kids who he had no problem with. So, so then he just got away from the situation. But, and his middle school had a much more even-handed approach. He got in trouble a couple times in the beginning, and then that was it. And but each time, the kid the other kid who had been involved got in trouble too. And he never did anything physical. It was just, it was such a relief, because the situation was handled much more even-handedly, and so, but, yeah, that was bad. He was a perfectly happy kid in preschool and in kindergarten, and then in first grade, he had a great kindergarten teacher. We love her. in first grade, things started getting bad, and this is not, I'm not saying anything he hasn't already said on YouTube. He was suicidal by, I think, the beginning of second grade. Now, granted, I've suffered from depression, so yes, there was definitely a susceptibility, but he, he had gone through a few years of being an unbelievably happy child with ADHD, but still very, very happy, outgoing. And I have to say, that's what bullying and the school's lack of response and support did. So, I mean, luckily, because of the work I've, done, and writing I've done for years and years in mental health, I was very, very, I talked to him about suicide and depression very openly, and I'd ask him constantly, so are you having suicidal thoughts? And if he was, I'd say, is it just kind of a hypothetical, it's not really, it's not something that you have any details or plans or anything, or, is there, I'd ask specifically, do you have a method or methods in mind, or or is this just kind of like you're having these suicidal thoughts? Because I put it more eloquently. I had like a set of questions. I put it more eloquently than that. Just because I'm really tired now. I'm not. But and I check in with him all the time, and he knew that he could come to me or my husband at any time and say, I'm having really bad suicidal thoughts. I'm thinking about like specific ways to do it. And he knew we wouldn't we'd make a big deal of it because we'd obviously respond, but we wouldn't freak out. He knew that we would not freak out over it. So he was comfortable talking to us about it, because kids a lot of times are afraid that their parents are just going to be really upset. And so to them, in their mind, a lot of the times, that's worse than for the parents' mind, there is nothing worse than not knowing when their kid is suffering. In the kid's mind, I don't want my parents to feel badly about what I'm going through, which is, any parent can tell you that's not, we want to know. We want to know if you're in pain. We want to find a way to help you. But for some reason, it's just really common with kids that they just think the parents are much better off not suffering through it with them, or something. Oh wow, that goes down a while. Okay. Yeah, so we got through it. And he had middle school and high school at this charter school, so it wasn't always perfect, for sure, but when it came to being even-handed as far as discipline, they definitely had it. And the woman who was the director / principal in the beginning is the most awesome person. And so she really was a great person to start the his experience there off with. But actually, as I said, I also was bullied, so I knew what he was going through to some extent. And wasn't identical to my experience, but it was very frustrating. The school just could not have cared less, to be honest. We tried again and again, and they were like, well, but Lawrence, if he didn't react. Oh, sure. Yeah, a kid's being teased and they're not supposed to react. What, at all? Well, we'd say, well, what about the kids who are teasing him? Well, there's not, we can't really prove that. And I'd say, but they admitted it. They're not denying it. Well, but teasing and blah, blah, blah. I was like, you guys just suck. I mean, I didn't say it in those words exactly, but I was like, this is absolutely ludicrous. This is absolutely ludicrous. You're letting my son's reaction overshadow a concerted effort on several kids' part to just make him miserable. So unfortunately, it's sad, but nothing has changed as far as bullying since I was bullied, which is a long time ago. Trust me. We're talking 50 years since I was really being, I was 9 years old. I was really being bullied. Nothing has changed at all. Nothing has improved. I just don't quite understand why it's so difficult. Okay, so we're down to 4 tracks. Oh my God. He's just, the drill is what the hell is he doing? I don't understand. There's I have no idea what he could be doing with that furniture. So how are we doing with the tracks? How close are they? That one's done. Wait, we got a tunnel floor. That track is done. That track is done. And that track is done? Okay, so all the tracks are done on this side. Okay, so okay, I am not going to get this done this time. So I obviously will get it done next time. What is that noise? And then I will also then do one of the fun small jobs like I said, the Mars rover or one of the other vehicles that are fun to do. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching live and VOD. Really appreciate it. Oh my God, that noise is just driving me nuts. I hope you're all doing well. I really appreciate you guys very much. I can't tell you how much. This is so much more fun than just playing on my own and not sharing it with anyone. So I hope you're doing well, taking care of yourself, your mental and emotional health, and those you love. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.